I will. All right, guys. So let's start the session. So thank you for joining the today's demo session organized by Education Ellipse. I'm Abhishek Agrawal. So first of all, I will introduce ourselves, me and my fellow tutor, Vale. I will try to introduce ourselves and then we'll go to the course curriculum and other things. So yeah, so thank you for joining the today's call. I am Abhishek Agrawal. I am a Microsoft certified Azure data engineer. I have done my graduation from NIT Raipur, and after that, I have working totally into this Azure data engineering field. From past 8 years, I have a experience working with Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse Analytics, PySpark, Spark SQL. I have done many migration projects in which I have moved the data from on-premise to cloud. Then I have guided many people. So this particular journey of teaching started from past 2 to 3 years. I have guided many people to move their profile from different domain to Azure cloud domain. And then currently I'm working as Azure data engineer in Aldi Sud in Germany. I directly applied from India in Germany. I got a job here as a Azure data engineer. I'm working in Aldi right now. Here I'm handling a migration project from a Hadoop cluster to a Databricks Spark cluster. That is what I am handling. I basically teach what I do. So in past 8 years, I have worked in many projects. So I try to teach what I have done in those projects in this particular training. And now with me, one fellow tutor will be taking this particular course further, so which is Vale. So I request Vale to introduce himself so that, and then we'll go to the course curriculum. So Vale, can you please introduce yourself to others so that they know about
Yeah,
you
yeah.
as well? Yeah.
My name is Veil Murugan. I have 15 years of experience. So, I started as a backend developer, then moved into data engineering. So, last 8 years, I've been working on data engineering. So, I started with MapReduce, then moved into Spark. And then I was using on-premises cluster, Yarn, Hadoop, all this thing, then moved into cloud. So, I worked on AWS cloud and then Azure also. So, I'm predominantly using Spark for the last 8 years. I've been working on like data engineering and then data warehouse, and then migration project, like different things on the data layer. So I've been into data engineering for 8 years, and then architecting, and then working on different layers in the data engineering itself. So I've been working on different enterprise. The last 3 years, I've been as a freelance consultant. I've been working with different teams across the globe. And then I have a good experience on data engineering with Spark, working on Scala, Python, on AWS using Glue, and then Databricks on local environment, different environments, specifically on the cluster optimization and performance tuning and fine tuning SQL queries, all this thing. I have good experience on this. That's about myself. I can continue on, Abhishek.
Okay. Thank you, Vale, for the introduction. Now, what I will do now, first of all, I will just try to highlight what sets us apart, which is like education ellipse, and then how this particular training is different, right? So in this particular training, we are taking only like 15 students. It's not like a big batch of 1500 students because Vale has other things to take care. I have also a job. I do it as a part time after I log out for my work. So it's a 15 students batch. We will not take any further students after that. We help from the beginning till the end. So to get a job in Azure Data Engineering, I believe the audience who is here are basically here for either getting a job in Azure Data Engineering field or like want to learn Azure Databricks and Spark and switch their profile, or they basically want to handle a project. So we basically teach that itself. We will do project. We will help you to make your resume. We will help you to understand your profile and then make your resume. So it's an end-to-end help regarding like doing the project, interview preparation, taking some mock interview, certification help. We will do everything with you, and it's not possible when you have more students, more than 15 students. It's not possible. We have tried that as well, but it's not possible. So this is what we do, right? Now this course is ideal for, so if you know some sort of a basic of SQL and Python, you can do this particular course. This course is specialized for cloud big data engineering. So we will be focused on big data processing and Databricks, and the people require a basic knowledge of SQL and Python for this particular course, right? Now, how this particular whole demo will go. So before learning anything, right? Before basically I introduce you about course itself, it's very important that you guys know these topics. Okay. So whenever we learn something, it's very, very important that we know why of it, why we are learning this, why database is important, why database is important for different enterprise right now, right? So let's understand the why of it. Like, we will first understand why data engineering and why data engineering is important. Then we will understand why Spark and why, like, what is Spark, that we'll understand after that. And then we'll understand the Databricks, which is basically built totally on Spark. So we'll understand why database is important and what is Databricks, right? Then I will stop for a couple of minutes in which you guys can ask me the question, ask me and Vail the question regarding the topics which we have discussed about data engineering, Spark, and Databricks in general, right? So if you have any question regarding that, you can ask. And then I will describe the, so if you have any question regarding course curriculum or anything of that sort, please wait, because after that I will describe the course curriculum, the lab sessions, how the lab session will go, right? So all of that I will describe after that. And then I will describe, the course is not only the important part, the important part is also how do you prepare for the interviews, right? Then I will also describe how we how we prepare for the interview, how the company questions will be given, how mock interview resume will be taken care, right? So then I will describe all of that after this, right? So this is how the overall flow will go. First of all, we will learn about why and what of data engineering, why and what of Spark, then why and what of Databricks. Then we'll stop for a couple of minutes in which you guys can ask question. Then I will describe about the course curriculum, like what are the topics we will cover, what are the architecture diagram we will cover, what are the lab sessions we will give it to you. You then will stop for a couple of questions again, and then I will describe the other thing, which is interview preparation, certification, mock interview. Then I will stop and then you can ask questions again, right? So this is how the overall flow will go. Now we will start with the first topic, which is like why data engineering is important and what is data engineering, and why Spark is important and what is Spark. And my fellow colleague Vail will take you through this topic, right? So Vail, I request you to share your screen, and then probably like you can introduce others about all of this topic so that
Yeah,
they know about it in a better way. Okay.
yeah, sure, Abhishek. Thanks, Abhishek. Can you enable screen sharing?
Yeah. 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 You can share your screen now.
So why data engineering is important for an enterprise? So if you see, like I'm sharing a e-commerce application, high-level architecture. So this is a simple architecture of an e-commerce company. So if you see, like they have different services, a database, file system. So this is for a simple company, which was the simple architecture 10 years back. And nowadays, like last 5 years, because of lot of capability and then lot of features required for an enterprise, their each capability has improved. Like companies has analytics, they have machine learning, they have AI, they have search capabilities, and then different capabilities. So from a simple architecture, uh, the company's architecture becomes like this. You see, which is a complex architecture where uh, they need this capability to become an enterprise. So from a single database, they have grown up to 10 databases or 20 databases. And they have data lake, they have data warehouse because of large of the capability needs of the enterprise. So if they have to do analytics, if they have to do machine learning, they have to maintain the data for 2 years or 5 years, and from that only they can do analytics. So they have to store this data, and then like store it in a different form to do analytics. So this is an architecture of a simple e-commerce company. Let us see another one architecture. So it's a food delivery high level architecture. And if you see this in depth, this is how the architecture looks of an enterprise. So you can see here they have MongoDB, they have Kafka, they have Elasticsearch, they have DynamoDB, they have different databases, they have data lake, they have data warehouse. So it is important for an enterprise to use uh, like different databases and data warehouse to fulfill their needs. So why they need different databases and data lake and then data warehouse? So in an enterprise, they have OLTP system, OLAP, both. So why OLTP? If you have to read faster, you need OLTP systems like Oracle, MySQL, kind of an RDBMS system is required to do transaction data, to faster search the data and give it in a faster way. They need OLAP system also to do analytics, to do machine learning, where they need bulk processing of data. They use OLAP systems. So combination of this also companies use it. That is what STAP is about. Combination of both OLTP and OLAP systems. So in enterprise, where the data is heavily used for research, analytics, and then to predict and then do machine learning kind of things. So to do this, all this stuff, they need an engineering team to do this thing. There are a lot of engineering frameworks. If you see previously, there were MapReduce, Hive, Kafka were there. But at present, Spark plays a major role in doing this activities. So if you see in the ingestion layer for batch processing or streaming activity, use Spark framework. Or if you want to store this data into data lake or data warehouse or data bases, we use Spark. And then even in the analysis data engine layer, we use Spark. So Spark plays a major role in the different layers of an data engineering activity. So from the ingestion to orchestration to data processing, we use Spark. So this is on the AWS. If you see on the Azure side, right, the same thing. So on the ingestion side also, we use like Spark along with ADF, we use Spark. And in the data engineering layer also, like for processing, we use Spark. So Spark plays a major role for data movement across databases, data warehouse, and then now we have data lake architecture also, where your data lake is converted into warehouse architecture. So for this, for the ETL activity, Spark is used as a framework because by nature it has a lot of capability to do the ETL activity in a easier. So we use Spark as a uh, the ETL framework, and for cluster activity, we use Databricks. So your Databricks provides Spark as a cluster framework where you can easily scale up missions and then run your Spark in a cluster frame. So this is what about the data engineering need of data engineering, and then we feel that in a data engineering, Spark plays a major role. With Databricks, it can scale up, and it will be helpful for a data engineering team to do on today basis regular activity in a faster. So you can continue on the next section.
Yeah, okay. Sure, Vail. Thank you so much for the brief introduction. Now, I will share my screen. All right, let me allow someone who joined now. Okay, fine. All right. So now I will try to take you and we will understand why database is important in general. So as Will described that the if you think about it, right? So the data is increasing day by day. Not only for like now, suppose if I give my example, right? I have like I don't know, 4 hard disk, and then like I have purchased the premium version of Google account as well, in which I store the data in the drive, right? So I have huge amount of data my myself, right? And then I think everybody face that a problem that their storage is full in the mobile, right? So if you see an individual person right now, they have huge amount of data. Similarly, uh, similarly, like if a particular individual has huge amount of data, then all the big giants, the big companies has a big amount of data, right? And then when you have a big amount of data, you need some engine which can process the data, right? Which can just provide some sort of an insight with respect to the data, right? Then Spark is the technology which is basically open source, and it's for the large scale data processing. Okay, so Spark is the technology which basically takes the huge amount of data and then it can process the data. You can process data in the SQL server, right? All of that you can also do, but it is not faster as the Spark is, right? That is why we recommend the big data processing. For big data processing, we recommend Spark. So the Databricks is also basically built by the creators of Spark. Okay, so Databricks is a global data analytics and artificial intelligence company founded by the original creators of Spark. What is Databricks? Databricks is basically built on Apache Spark, in which you can run your code. You can basically run the Spark code in your local machine as well. That also you can do, but your machine also needs a power, right? A computing power. So Databricks provides a platform in which you can run a Apache Spark code. Okay, and it's also been developed by the Apache Spark creators. Now, Databricks, why learning Databricks is important? Because it's opted by different cloud platforms already. So we have a AWS Databricks, we have AWS Databricks, right? So we have GCP Databricks as well, GCP Databricks as well. And then we have like Azure Databricks as well, right? So if you learn Databricks, ideally you can work with any of the cloud. That also you can do, right? Because you are ideally learning how Databricks is functioning, and also you're learning Spark, which is basically used for all of the cloud platforms, right? And you are ideally learning the big data processing. Okay. Now, why Databricks is important? Because I do have a very good slide of it. Let me open that particular slide. So why data engineering Databricks is important? Because when I have worked as a data analyst in the in 2016, just after my college. I was working as a data analyst. So we used to use a different platform for warehousing, and then we used to use different the BI tools for all of that, right? Now, I when I started working as a data engineer, used to use this Apache Airflow for my orchestration, right? Then for streaming object, we used to use a different tool, right? Then as a data scientist was using some Jupyter notebook and all of that for data science practices. Okay. But now, when I'm working on this particular Databricks as a platform, we use in different companies in which I have worked in the past, and in current company in which I'm working right now, we use only Databricks. And then we can use Unity catalog. We can make data. We can just create catalog. We can do data warehousing as well. We can basically orchestrate our workflow. We can do data engineering as well. We can do ETL as well in Databricks. We can do Spark streaming as well in Databricks. We can basically run ML model as well in Databricks. So Databricks is a one unified platform in which you can ideally do everything. You can do data warehousing, you can do data engineering, you can do Spark streaming, you can do data science and ML algorithm as well. All of that you can ideally do in the data engineering, Databricks, which makes a Databricks a powerful tool. Reason being, it's built on Spark, which also is a library rich framework in which you can write SQL code, Python code as well, right? And then you can basically do all sort of a data warehousing, data engineering, stream processing, data science and ML, all of that you can do. Now you can also ask me, Abhishek, like suppose this Spark is open source, right? So this Spark ideally I can run in Smart Synapse Analytics as well. I can use some sort of other tool as well in which we can learn the Spark. Why Databricks? Why Databricks is only important, right? So Databricks provides you different features, right? Which is not basically given by other platforms, which basically gives the Spark integration. Okay, so it has a Unity catalog, it has a Delta Live table, it has many other features, which is basically you can opt in the Databricks. That is why other cloud platforms, which is AWS, Amazon, GCP, also integrated the Databricks with their cloud. Okay, so when you have different mobiles, right? You have a Samsung mobile, you have a different mobile, so all the mobile can call and like receive messages and all of that, right? But every mobile has a different feature, right? So some people prefer a Mac, some people prefer Apple mobile over a Samsung mobile, some people prefer a Oppo mobile over some other mobile because they like the feature, right? So similar to that, the Databricks has a many feature to run Spark on top of it, which makes the Databricks a powerful tool, which is also opted by different cloud platforms. So here you can create a lakehouse architecture as well by you, which because you can integrate lakehouse has a capability of integration of data lake and data warehouse, right? You can create delta lake as well, that also you can do. And if you see, right, so if you see, there are many like 7,000 customer across the globe for this Databricks, right? So it makes a Databricks a very important tool to learn. And if you learn Databricks, you're ideally learning Spark, how Spark is functioning, right? And if you know that, you are learning a very latest framework which can be used if your organization is not working on Database as well, right? So that can be also used because you're ideally learning Spark, right? So this is about uh, what is data engineering, what is Spark, and what is Databricks in very brief manner, right? Now, what I will do now is to take you to the course curriculum. Okay, so first of all, I will come to the agenda again. So now, like we understood why data is important, why data engineering is important. Data engineering is all about like extract, transform, and load. How the we can process data. Why Spark is important. Spark is basically important for the big data processing because the data volume is increasing day by day, right? Now we also understood about why data is important and why every company is integrating Databricks, right? Now, anybody has a question with respect to this topics in general, you can ask me now, or else we will go to the course curriculum after that, right? So you can unmute yourself and ask question if you have any, guys. So if you have any question, you can ask.
From what you have covered, there is nothing
Yes.
at this point, but I have
Yeah.
more regarding ingestion and several other things as you go forward.
Okay, so you don't have any doubt regarding data engineering, Spark, and Databricks, but you have questions going forward, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I will wait for 1 more minutes if you have any question. All right. If there is no question, then I will go to the course curriculum. Okay. So this course curriculum, how this course curriculum has been designed is Vale is also working on many other projects, right? So he has a very huge experience of working in Databricks and Spark and also like big data processing. He's also working as a freelancer right now from past 3 years, and I am working on this particular cloud field from past 8 years, right? So when we work, we know what is important to work in a real-time projects, right? So we know about it. So this course is being designed. So suppose if you go to the market and if you just go to the YouTube, right? So you will, if you just search about Apache Spark and Databricks, you will get like, I don't know how many videos you will get, and you will be confused at what to watch, what to learn, what not to learn, right? But this course is being designed in that manner that we are teaching and we are teaching in such a manner that once you do this particular course, you will be able to do actual work in Databricks, right? So your real-time work in the Databricks, and also you will be able to crack the interviews. This is how it has been designed, and we have tried our best to basically cover all the topics which is being asked in the interview and also which is being used in the real-time world, right? So the Spark architecture, so I will just give a brief about the course curriculum. The Spark architecture and introduction of database is very, very important, and you should know how how does Databricks overall looks, right? So overview of Databricks. Then it's very important, you know, the cluster, how the cluster, we need to create a cluster, how to manage a cluster, how to do the administration of the cluster, how many types of a cluster is there, how, when the project begins, how to decide what should be the memory of the worker node and a driver node, all of that. Then if you're writing the code in the Python, so suppose in Hadoop cluster we were writing some sort of a code in Python, right? So we see many code is written in the Python, and when you use Spark, you need to convert all of the code to the PySpark code. So how to convert it, how to convert a pandas to a PySpark code, what are the different data transformation you need to do in PySpark, what are the common data transformation you need to do in the PySpark, how to use a dbutils file, how to parameterize your notebook, right? And then how to process CSV file, JSON file, XML file, what are the different types of views are there, what are the different types of tables are there, how to do the basic version controlling, or how to do the version controlling, what is get revert, what is cherry pick, right? All of that we will cover. We will not cover during the course like CI/CD practice of the Databricks, because we believe that there is a separate learning or separate sessions are required, and that is the job of a DevOps engineer ideally. So we will cover that what is required for from the data engineering side, the DevOps side of it. That will cover how to manage the secret scope, how to keep the your credential, how to write the data to the SQL server, what is the JDBC connector, how to manage the Databricks CLI command line prompt, how to get the cluster configuration, how to back up the notebook, right? And then we'll understand about the Spark UI, how the optimization in Spark happens, what is the Unity catalog, the very latest feature of Databricks, what is S3 type implementation, what is S3 type 1, type 2, type 3, how to implement it, what is the lakehouse architecture, which is the very latest architecture of Databricks, right? What is the medallion architecture, how to, what is UDF, how to do the Spark optimization, what is directed acyclic graph, predicate pulls down, projection pulls down, repartition, coalesce, cache persist, data skews and sorting techniques. So we will cover Spark optimization, we will cover Databricks, the features of Databricks, right? So what are the different features of the Databricks, how does Spark work, how to do the Spark optimization, all of that we will cover. And as I told you that we will do the projects in this particular course curriculum. So we will do these projects in the course curriculum. This is the latest lakehouse architecture, which we will try to implement during the course, right? In which we are writing the data from the bronze layer to silver layer and silver layer to gold layer. I totally get it. So suppose if you are saying that, Abhishek, I am not able to understand about anything what you told, and I totally get it, right? So because you are in the new field right now, but you should understand what are the important topics. Okay, so these are the important topic which is basically asked around the interview, right? And then this is the very latest lakehouse architecture which we will teach during the course, and this is the latest lakehouse architecture ideally, right? Which is basically asked in the interviews. So now I will also show you how this particular the architecture got evolved in the time, right? So that, so suppose you can understand. So suppose this was the architecture in the past, right? So in 1980s, this is how we used to implement the warehouse, right? Now the data lake concept came in, and then you move the data to the data lake, and then you prepare your ETL and then do the dashboarding, right? Then this is the latest lakehouse architecture in which once your data come into the data lake, then you read the data, make the Unity catalog, and then you can do BI reporting, data science, ML algorithm, stream processing, everything you can do top of a data lake, which is what which we will teach during the course, how to implement a lakehouse architecture. Okay. All right, guys. So this is about the this is about mm, the course curriculum. 1 second, I will just again open the slide. And then this is another project which we will do. And after doing the both of the project, we will help you to understand how to write these projects in the resume. And then we will also give you the interview question with respect to the project, right? And after the course, when the course is going, I will also show you the running class so that you can understand uh, how we give the homework after every class and how it is being like the actual course goes in, right? So suppose if I open the running class right now which is happening, okay? So suppose like this is the class, live class which is happening, right? So suppose here if I go, after every class there is a homework, right? So this is a homework which is given after every class, right? And then the homework is with respect to what has been covered in each class, and also some sort of an additional assignment is being given to every class, okay? So this is how every class will go. We will give you the recording of all the classes and with a lifetime access so that you can watch it whenever you want. And at the same time, we will give the assignment after every class. Okay, so just the way we used to learn in the school, and after that, so after every class, there is an assignment which is given to you so that you can practice what we have done during the class. And after the class, also, you can just practice all the assignment and then make notes, right? So yeah, so this is about the course curriculum and the overview of how do we manage the project and the lab sessions, right? So now if you have any questions with respect to the course curriculum and then overall flow of the project and anything, you can ask me or you can ask Will, right? So if you have any question with respect to that.
Hi Abhishek, Chaitanya here. So
Hi,
like
Chetan.
yes, so like after getting into this sessions and everything, right? So which will be the platform to practice this one? So like are we going to get any free subscription on Microsoft
Yeah, I will cover that topic after this. I will
to
cover
practice
it.
this one, or is
Yeah.
there any other tools to be? Okay, okay.
Yeah, so just let me answer that question now itself because it's a common confusion. So what we will do ideally, we will basically practice in two places. So either so we will either practice in the community edition account, which is a free account given by Databricks in which you can go and practice. Okay, so this is where the practice will happen 70% of the time. Now, the 30% of the time you cannot practice in the community edition account. Reason being that you when we are taking the class of the cluster, right, here you cannot create all the cluster. When we are creating the class of the Git integration, you cannot practice in the normal account. And also at the same time, when we are discussing about Unity catalog, right, many other classes are there which cannot be practiced in the community edition account. For that, we will come and create the normal account over here, right? So this is free for 14 days, and after 14 days you can ideally upgrade your account to pay as you go, which will also not cost you much of a money. It will cost you like 500 to 1000 rupees a month. So suppose if I go to my subscription, right, and if I go to billing invoices, right, so suppose this is what the billing invoice, so every month suppose 3000, and then this is what I am paying right now, right? And this I am basically teaching many students. I am working with Whale as well in many of the projects, right? So suppose this is basically cost of me teaching and also working on some sort of a POCs which we create for the our course, right? So this is the cost for that, right? But now when you work individually for your own purpose, right, it will not cost you this much amount of money. It will be like 1000 or 1500 rupees a month, not more than that. And if you want to mitigate that as well, you can ideally work in the free subscription which is there for 14 days, and then you can upgrade your account. Like then you can basically use your friend's account, or you have another credit card, you can create another account. But either we'll work on the community edition account, or we will work on this account which is free for 14 days, and after that you can upgrade to pay as you go, where you need to pay 1000 rupees or 1500 rupees a month. And if you want to mitigate that as well, you need to basically use your another credit card or something like that to manage that ideally. All right, guys, if this question is clear, anybody has any other question regarding the course curriculum, guys?
Yeah, I have one, Abhishek.
Yeah. Yes.
First of all, the course is pretty comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's covering. So I come from a GCP background. I have 17 years into IT, all
Mm-hmm.
into data warehousing, data engineering, data science.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is like I'm a data architect already. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just taking it up for upskilling, you know, basically knowing the other
Mm-hmm.
side of the picture, right?
Yeah.
So I already use GCP Data Proc and other stuff for Spark
Yeah.
processing, and also I'm well aware of all that. My main question here is with respect to real-time processing, or suppose your source is a IoT source, okay, or
Mm-hmm.
an application which is sending you streaming data, or Azure, pub sub. Like in GCP, we have a pub sub service, right, which gives you
Mm-hmm.
streaming
Yeah.
data. In one of the slides you showed, like from lending, you are bringing up couple of file formats: CSV, JSON,
Mm-hmm.
XML, or it can be Parquet, Avro, anything, right?
Yeah.
But my main interest is like in real time, how Databricks is going to extract the data. Suppose you have a MySQL database, which is outside, your cloud network. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
an on-prem MySQL, um,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe whenever a new event is written or like a new record is created into it, one way is to create a sort of JDBC connection, pull it up. That's an old school way
Mm-hmm.
of doing things. If you're in Azure, probably you can create a Azure data factory
Mm-hmm.
job to extract and do it. But how exactly, is there any um, sort of connectors available within Databricks to connect to external sources, or we rely on other Azure services to do so? For
So
example, I,
looking for something
when I
like
work
a
in my,
CDC kind of way where change the
yeah, no,
capture of data from
correct, yeah.
stream to stream and then Kafka kind of thing, right?
Yeah, change data capture is like in typical data warehousing terminology, right? Whatever this
Yeah.
has changed since the last load. But in a
Yeah.
real-time kind of fashion, whenever an application is creating an event, right, it's written to a publish topic, and then whoever subscribed to the topic should be able to extract that on demand, or on auto basis. So that streams into your maybe a cloud storage if you are in Azure, maybe data lake storage, or in GCP is GCS, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
more interested on that side of things, right? Things are moving towards
Yeah,
near
so,
real
so
time,
there are
real
two things, right?
time.
One is batch processing, another is streaming. So
Batch
streaming
I'm
is
very, very
completely,
clear with. Yeah, my
yeah.
question is
So,
related to
so
with
at
real time.
present, if you see this course, right, we are focusing more on batch processing, actually. And then
Yeah, yeah.
streaming, we are doing it as a separate work, actually. So streaming and then the CDC capture and then event processing, everything, we do it separately.
Yeah.
So that is not part of this course, actually. So if you
Yes.
see, this is more of a batch processing system on Databricks, and where ETL batch processing for the bulk data. We are not capturing your streaming data and then we are doing on, because whatever you said, right, it's a streaming architecture where lively we should capture it and the events and then process the events lively. And in the Databricks, we have to use DLT or a streaming architecture where we can capture this event and process.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
All
the
right.
streaming objects are not part of this course, and there is also a reason of why it's not the part of this course, because I will just come to the start what I have said. So this course is being designed in that manner that because if you go to the market and then search about what I should learn, there are many things which you can learn. After streaming as well, I can tell you other topics which ideally you can also learn. But this course is basically been designed in that particular manner that if a particular person who knows SQL and Python and he says that I want to switch, what are the most important topic I should focus on? I can make this curriculum for like elongated course curriculum as well, but this is very must to know to switch. That is what is included in this particular course. And then when you see the project as well, there are like many of the batch processing project and there are few of the streaming projects. So that is why the learning batch is more important. After that, once you finish the batch processing, then you can focus on a stream processing as well. But if your area of interest is more of a stream processing, then this course is not for you ideally.
I
But
totally get it. Yeah, I
if you want to
understand.
learn about
So
batch processing, then this course is ideally for you. Yes.
no,
All right.
in fact, do that
Yeah.
day in, day out. So I
Yeah.
understand that. Thank
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys. Any other question beside this?
Hello, Abhishek.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. So, what are the language we need to know to learn this course, Abhishek? So
Yeah.
we
So
should
this.
know
Yeah.
Python.
So it's not important that you know Python or it's not important you know SQL. You know either one of them. Like if you know SQL or if you know Python, but you should know either one of them. That is the requirement. That is also the basic knowledge. Like you should know. Suppose if I talk about the basic logic of what is join, what is having, what is aggregate, the if you know those basics, like how to filter a data frame, like a basic, then and if you know it from the SQL perspective or if you know it from the Python perspective, you can ideally come and do this course. We will not teach you SQL or Python during the course, and any of the course curriculum which is there in the market will not ideally teach you SQL and Python. They can take couple of 1 or 2 class and then they will say that yeah, this is where this is having, and they say that we teach you SQL Python during the course, but it doesn't happen like that, because the learning a particular basic knowledge of either of one of language need a dedicated course. So suppose if you don't know all of this, then I suggest to take a dedicated course of SQL and Python, learn a basic of it, and then you can enroll for it. But in this particular course, the prerequisite is you know basics of SQL or Python, or you are looking for a big data processing and Databricks cloud data engineering, cloud big data engineering. If you're looking for, then you can enroll for this particular course.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek.
Hi Abhishek, will you be covering PySpark in detail or?
Yes, I will cover PySpark in detail. So we will go through what are the different common transformation logics is there in the PySpark, how to convert pandas to PySpark, all of that we'll cover, which is been written over here.
Thank you.
So how many months course it is, duration of the course, and what time the class is going to start? It is morning or evening?
So it's a evening 7:30 p.m. IST will be the class. It's a time which me and Vale has decided, but sometimes it happens that like the majority of the students want the class to be half an hour late or 1 hour late. That can be done, but the suggested timing is 7:30 p.m. And after we finalize the students, suppose we finalize like 15 students or like suppose we finalize 10 students, then then we basically discuss the timing among them, so they are okay with 7:30, so we'll continue with 7:30, or if they want to alter the time with half an hour here and there, that can be done ideally with the discussion. But it's 7:30 p.m. IST in the evening. We don't have any morning class because ideally I'm in Germany. Vale is also working on a few clients, so that particular timing doesn't work for us ideally. But if you want for some, if this timing doesn't work for you, then we have an alternate option of also giving you the recording of the live class. You can ideally take the recording of the live class and learn that in that way as well. So 7:30 p.m. IST will be the timing. The course duration is 2 months. The classes will happen every day except Wednesday and weekends. So the class will happen on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. It will go for 2 months. 7:30 p.m. IST. All right, guys. Anybody has any other question? As I told, morning IST is not possible. We can and then Python is a prerequisite. Either Python or SQL is a prerequisite. Either one of them. All right, guys. Anybody has any other question, guys? I will just take one last question if anybody has. Like, let's start in 6:52. All right.
Abhishek, actually,
Yeah.
So basically, this course fees will be around 20,000 as per the somewhere in the screen. Okay, and if you don't attending this daily classes, right? So, for example, like there'll be recorded sessions will be available. So,
Yeah.
if you want to get the access, and what will be the fees for that one instead of live classes?
So the all the details are there in the website. For the recorded session, we charge about 9,000 rupees for the recorded session, which you can get in the in when you check out our website. You can ideally get the details of that over here. So the charges is 9,000 rupees, and then you will get a LMS portal ideally, in which you can get all the recordings directly. So suppose if I just go to this, you can get the recording of the course curriculum. So this is a recorded session. Here you can ideally go and get all the recordings. So yeah, with the homework.
So will be that current recording or ongoing classes or previous sessions or previous batch recording
Anything
sessions it
can
will
be
be?
done. Anything can be done. So
Okay.
if you want
Okay.
previous session, if you want live sessions, we don't have any problem in providing the recording. Whatever you want can be done. But it's the same curriculum here and there. Few changes will be there, but whenever there is an upgrade, suppose we also upgrade our course. So few days back, I was not teaching the Unity catalog and few other feature with Databricks has integrated. So I stopped selling that particular course after that. So once the upgrade happens, we stop selling the course completely and we sell the new course. So, but the course curriculum will be same. If you just buy the previous recording and then the current recording, it will be currently same, but we can do whatever you want ideally.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. So anybody has any other question, guys? Okay, if not, then let's move forward. So the course curriculum, the lab sessions is I have given overview. Then how we should prepare for the interviews, right? So suppose once we finish once we are running the course, and then suppose 10 to 15 classes has happened, right? So suppose 10 or 12 classes has happened, then we suggest to write the project. So till that point we will be doing one particular project, right? So what we can do is to write that particular project which we have done. You don't need to wait for complete course to finish, okay, and then start revision. Why? Because how do we prepare for any sort of suppose I have prepared for AI triple E, or like suppose I have prepared for CAT as well, and I think you guys also prepared for some sort of a course curriculum. Suppose we are all, suppose most of the people are engineers, right? So we what you used to do in the college, we used to go to the toppers in the, like suppose tomorrow is the exam, then we used to go to them and then ask them, hey, what is the important question, and then we prepare that itself, right? And then we used to get the same marks as the topper, right? And how we are managed to do that, because we care about the important things. That is what we will do now as well. So after finishing 10 to 12 class, uh, we will write one of the project in your resume, and then we suggest you to start giving interviews, because it is a new technology. You will also take time to prepare yourself for the interview. Okay, so it's not like you will go to the one interview, crack it. It will not happen like that. It's better you crack it, but it doesn't happen like that. So you need 3 4 interviews to make yourself comfortable, to understand how you should project yourself, right? So we will start giving interviews, and then we will do the course curriculum also in the side, and then whatever feedbacks you're getting, you can currently discuss with us as well, me and Vale, and also you can try to improve yourself during the course. Then you will also understand what is important with what you have learned and what you are about to learn, because when the course curriculum is going on, you are not getting that, right? But suppose in the interviews people are asking you about Unity catalog, then you will get an understanding that, yeah man, this Unity catalog is very very important, and then you pay attention to those classes, or those you will revise that better, right? So after 10 to 12 class, we will help you to make your resume, they start giving interviews, and then we'll give you the interview questions as well, which you can prepare. So me and Vale are taking many interviews for our companies, and then like we have also given many interviews in the past. So what we do ideally, we provide all the interview questions of different companies during the course curriculum, right? So this is my actually like the notes which is basically I prepared. I show it often in all my demos. If I can find it, let me see. Yeah, so I show this in all of my demo, reason being that this is how I prepare for the interview. I give multiple interviews. I try to write all the interview questions of different companies. And this I do it for myself as well, and this I do it for my students as well, so that they can basically practice it and then go through the interview questions. Now, if I show you that, like in our community as well, we basically share many interview question. Then we also give you the interview questions like this, like suppose, yeah, Deloitte interview question, Microsoft interview question, Tiger Analytics interview questions, right? So we basically give you the interview question with respect to this as well. So now once you prepare your project, right, and once you basically once you prepare the project, once you know the important interview questions, which is not like normally written by like just thinking about it, it's actually written by giving the interviews, okay? And then you prepare for it as well. So if you do the whole course curriculum, if you prepare all the interview question given to you, then it's like 90% or 95% of the chances that you will be able to clear the interviews. The only part is left is how do you project yourself, how confident you sound, right? And that will come if you do all the homework. So we are ideally giving you everything what is needed to crack the interview, okay? So you will get many people saying in the market that it is 100% job assistance. So we are giving you ideally 100% job assistance if you just prepare or do all the attend all the. So what we want ideally is to attend all the class, do all the homework, prepare all the interview question, give us the resume, we'll give you the feedback, prepare your resume, then apply, then start giving interviews. And if you do that, you can ideally switch, ideally very easily switch. So now if I come over here, interview question, resume, mock interviews also we will take. And then after the course curriculum, suppose somebody says that, Abhishek, I want to do some sort of a certification as well, right? Then we will guide you how to do the certification, okay? So in this particular course curriculum, as I told, that everything is included beside few parts, which is like stream things, right? That is not included. So, but that if you want this particular certificate, I renew this certificate often, right? So recently on August 6th, I renewed this particular certificate. So I know how to crack this particular certificate. Ideally, if you want to crack the certificate as well, we can guide you about this as well, right? So this, all the course curriculum is already included, but here and there few topics which is missed, we can guide you how you can cover that as well for this examination particularly. So yes, guys. So this is about the course curriculum, the lab sessions and everything. If you have any doubt now regarding interview preparation or anything, you can ask us. Or if you have any question related to, like, because I have covered all the topics, I feel so I have covered about what is data engineering, like me and Will covered about all the topics, I feel so. We covered like what is data engineering, why data engineering is important, what is Spark, why database is Spark, what is Spark, why Spark is important, why database is important, then what is the course curriculum, lab sessions, interview question, company questions, right? We have covered about everything. Now if you have any questions related to that, you can ask me, right? All right. Anybody has any question, guys? Give me a moment. Yeah, so if you don't have any questions, then I will tell you about the offer. So previously in the previous demo, there was an early bird discount which got expired, in which we were selling the course in 17,000 rupees. But now we have another discount that in which we will sell the course now for in 18,000 rupees if you register till Friday, right? So if you want to register for this particular course, and we are taking only 15 students, as I told, right? And we have already like 6-7 registration already happened. So we are yet to take few students, and if you want to register, right, you can get this particular course in 18,000 rupees if you register till Friday, right? So if you want to enroll for this particular course, please ping me on WhatsApp. And I think all of you has my WhatsApp number, right? So if you don't have it, I'm just writing in the chat so that you can ping me on WhatsApp, right? And then get it registered, right? So please register soon. Reason being that we are taking limited students, and at the same time, uh, we have a discount which is valid till Friday, right? And after Friday, we won't be able to sell it on this particular discount, which is 18,000 rupees, right? So if you want to register for this particular course in a discounted price, please ping me on the chat, so that please ping me privately in the chat, in the WhatsApp, and register for this particular course, right? So this is about the demo, and I am still here. Will is still here for a couple of minutes, or if you have further doubts regarding anything, guys. So just ping me in the chat if you want to register for this particular course, or if you have any question, just ping me in the chat. All right, guys. Anybody has any questions? If there is no question, then yeah, so Sarth or anybody has any question? Somebody unmuted, I think so. Okay. If you don't have any questions, then thank you for joining the today's call, guys. Please ping me on WhatsApp if you want to register for this course. You can get it in 18,000 rupees. We are taking limited students, so please ping me soon to register yourself. Thank you so much for joining the today's demo. Let's meet in the chat if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you so much, guys. I'm ending the call. Thank you for joining.